targets. He has to ultimate to get away, and that is going to be an excellent pickup of a free ultimate cooldown burn. Meanwhile, we have kind of interesting stuff going on bottom. We have Kha'Zix, who wants to go in, and Nocturne is ready for this. They want to go in on Varus and Nami, but they are just too slow. I don't know why they hesitated, really, because that was a really good opportunity for them to 4v2. And Sona giving away their position there. I guess they had a ward in that bush. I'm still thinking that they should make something happen here at bottom.
York is able to pick up that tower. He ults himself and is going in on this Rise. Rise is forced to flash away. York flashes in, gets the slow on the Rise. He's able to get another poison minion out. He's continuing to dive this tower. He is going to have to be forced to back away. Flash is burned by both champions.
York going pretty deep in there. We got multiple turrets on Pony's side. It was a great play. They were a little bit split up, but it all worked out. That split push is just really dominating, and they're looking to go in on bottom now. Unfortunately, there is no ward coverage from Lead by Example. Once again, they are overextended, and this time they're going to have to pay for it.
Kha'Zix choosing not to engage the Cho'Gath and just simply jumping over him. Verse attempting to base, but he is going to be caught out here by the Sona. Nocturne and Tristana are nearby. Deathbringer comes out, it does land. Tristana jumps in. He's going to auto attacks off. Tidal Wave goes across, but it's not going to be enough. Bear comes out. Poke from Sona is going to come out. Oh, and the power cord finishes him off. Sona does pick up the kill on the Varus. And we now have a re-engage. Nami does not land Aqua Prison. Kha'Zix jumps in, picks up the kill on the Nami. Is going to get those resets. Tristana is brought really low by the Rise. But Kha'Zix jumps in and evaporates the Rise instantly. Rupture lands on 2 members. But Kha'Zix is looking for more blood. He jumps in on the Cho'Gath, gets the slow with the Void Spikes. Sona is really close to this Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath is just going to meander around in between 3 members, get feared, and be finished off by the Yorick.
Oh man, Pony has just got such a lead here right now, and Lead by Example, again, is going to have to go with an alternative strat. So last game, they were in this somewhat similar position, and we're hoping to see this play out a little bit differently. Pony is going to need to keep that aggressive push up. They're going to need to get an inhibitor to make this a real effect on the game. And on the other hand, Lead by Example needs to not lose morale. I mean, they've got 1 kill. There is a huge gold lead, but their AD carry is super fun now. He is doing very well, and as long as they're able to turn things around and catch people out like this, and actually we see Hackerman initiate
we have a good Aqua Prison. Lands on the York Ghost. York is going to be able to get away from the Hecarim with his slows. Nocturne's going to Deathbringer out as well, and looks like Pony is going to go ahead and back out here.
Yeah, nobody died, but it was certainly a little bit messy. Hecarim missed his ultimate onto it seemed to be Nocturne, so there were split targets there for Lead by Example. Probably a good idea to back out off of that one.
We have 3 champions going in on the Kha'Zix. Nope, they're just going to go ahead and push this mid lane back. Tristana and Sona are going to work on this dragon and pick up the second dragon for Pony, I believe. 1 dragon was stolen by LBX earlier.
And the reason for that is Lead by Example is really doing a poor job of managing dragon. It looks like Pony has kept pink wards on it entirely the whole time. Really kept a good whack on that in all 3 games, and that's really going to start to hinder them. They really need to get some ward coverage, some pinks on there, and even Baron, because it's the same idea on Baron. If you don't have wards down, if you don't have a pink, you're going to miss opportunities to Baron, and the other team is going to find a way to segue in.
For those watching, I hope the lag issue was fixed for you guys. We might be having an engage here in mid. It looks like, by example, does not want to fight here, and they're going to try and back out.
And this is really dangerous for Pony. They are ahead, but I don't know if they can go into straight 4v5. They have a lot of reset potential, but they can't exactly dive, and York's teleport is down. So you're going to see him kind of back off, swing around, decide to do something else, because heck no, we are not diving them.
Yep, and we have Yorick putting damage on the Rise under the tower, but Rise is able to use his ultimate to spell vamp that up right back up.
Meanwhile, Lead by Example is just kind of milling about mid. You see this where players are wasting a lot of time.
We have Kha'Zix jumping in. Aqua Prison is coming out. It's not going to hit anything. Neither does Rupture. Nocturne seems to be paralyzed. It does go down to the Varus. Crescendo lands on multiple enemies. Varus' ultimate also lands on multiple enemies. Kha'Zix brought really low. Tristana is going to drop to the Rise, and Varus is going to pick up that Kha'Zix and secure himself a double kill. And that is a 3-for-1 trade in the favor of Lead by Example.
And we are seeing exactly what happened in the last game going on. We have a great advantage by Pony, but Lead by Example, when they're able to really pull themselves together, get a little more aggressive, and be a little more brave, they're able to catch somebody out, throw all their chips into one big team fight, and win it. We saw Rise teleport in, clean up a lot of people there, and it really is going to help bring them back into the game as long as they're able to continue this. They might even be able to make a comeback.
We'll have to see how this turns out. Rise's teleport will be down for a little while. York's is almost back up. And York did manage to get that second tower, so that team fight wasn't all for naught. But they did lose their first tower in mid on Pony's side.
And right now, it's probably a dangerous trade to trade 1-for-1 towers. But if they're able to make those exchanges without losing a turret, then it would probably be a little more favorable. You could actually almost say that Pony won that engage because they lost a tier 1 turret and they gained a tier 2. So, kind of dangerous, but I think that Lead by Example might be able to pull it off. Their ward coverage right now is really going to help them either come back or it's basically going to make or break them. If their ward coverage is superior enough to catch out somebody in Pony, then they're going to be able to make a comeback on this. But if they keep losing wards like this and aren't able to keep that vision in the jungle, it's definitely GG for Lead by Example.
I have to agree. Muramana has been finished on the Yorick for quite a while. That's why you can see him put that burst out now. He did pick up a Glacial Shroud and finished a Spirit Visage, so he is going to be pretty tanky and hard to bring down. Not to mention, he does have his ultimate, and getting a Tristana with getting close to having 2 of her patented 3 item build. That'll be a really scary endgame.
Yeah, and interesting enough, Varus didn't go for Blade of the Rune King, so he might play a little bit bigger of a fight or a part in team fights, especially because he doesn't need that blade for the tankiness of Pony. They're just going more or less damagey on both their jungler and their top laner. They picked up a couple of defensive items. I'm seeing double locket, but nothing super crazy, so not super tanky on the side of Pony.
No, not at all. We have Cho'Gath and Rise going in on Yorick. Yorick is going to ult himself and try and fight off. This Rise Sona is here to help. Crescendo comes off, Paranoia comes in. Rise is going to get dropped by Tristana, jumps in as well. Cho'Gath is in a 4v1 situation. Nami is going to miss her Aqua Prison. This is now a 4v5. Kha'Zix comes in and simply annihilates the Varus. Jumps in and gets the reset and is going to finish off. Tristana picks up the auto kill and gets the reset. We're going to go in on this Cho'Gath. Jumps are going down. Kha'Zix is going to... Nope, Tristana does pick up that with her own auto attack. Ranged auto tags. Get there faster than melee auto attacks, apparently.
Wow, and that turns sour for Lead by
Kha'Zix is going to
Example.
jump in, flash, and pick up the kill. He is going to drop to the tower, though, drawing that aggro, giving Nami that gold.
And this could potentially be GG if they play it right, but it looks like they're just going to play it safe, back out, get that inhibitor, and back off. That really, it turned sour for Lead by Example pretty quickly. Unfortunately, Kha'Zix had just excellent positioning, was able to jump onto Varus and take him out. So that played a large part in that team fight and is probably a reason why Pony was able to get an inhibitor off of that.
We see a pink being dropped for Baron. I will be... Hecarim does manage to get here in time to catch the Sona, and the rest of the team is gone. I don't know if Hecarim notices that, though, so he's just going to back off.
And Hecarim is going a little deep here, a little dangerous. Throws down a ward, and looks like they're still on to her. That poor Sona.
Sona is not being allowed to base here.
They want to push down mid turret, but I'm not exactly sure why. They've got a good push bottom. mid is pushing the wrong way, and Baron is up. So I guess they're choosing mid because they're not able to go bottom to the Baron. But it's really a gamble. Pony is so far ahead that a full head-on 5v5 might not be the best idea for lead by example right now.
Yeah, you're going to need a lot of really good ultimate combos coming out of the Hecarim, the Nami, and the Varus, getting that chain CC down.
Yeah, and I think this comes back a little bit to what I was saying in Champion Select. Right now, the team that initiates is winning. Right now, it's Pony that's initiating. I haven't seen Lead by Example really initiate with Hecarim, and the one time that they were able to initiate onto Pony in a straight 5v5, they actually won. It was in the jungle. So I know they're behind, but they're going to have to just find the right opportunity, and they're going to need to go on it just like that. They're going to need to not hesitate. If they keep hesitating, it's just going to be Pony initiating on them over and over.
Yep. And we see Pony just looking to take this tower out. They're going to go ahead and tank this and not worry about the damage. Nami is getting cut out here. She's forced to use Tidal Wave and is going to back out as fast as she can. Lands Aqua Prism. Hecarim does ult in, only gets the Sona. Varus and Sona both use their ultimates. Both teams locked down for a little while. Tristana is getting the auto attacks off. York picks up the kill on the rise. Tristana jumps in, continuing to do damage in a 1v2 near the tower. Cho'Gath is forced to walk out here. Only one kill picked up through all of that. Nocturne was brought really low, but it was managed to back out. But there's still 5 of them up, and they're on this tower. Home guards are out. Hecarim is going to try and go in here. He changes his mind, actually, and they're just going to keep the waves out of the base. And let's see, Tristana is going to steal this red buff, and everyone is going to go back home.
Unfortunately, it looks like Torque might have gotten caught out just a little bit there, and as a result, again, Pony got the initiate on them. They got the best of them. Thor tried to go back in and make it a good initiate, but it really only landed onto, I believe, Holy Grail. So that might have been a part of why that fight was not quite that great for Lead by Example.
Yeah, the Hecarim ult did manage to only fear the Sona. The Varus and the Sona did both basically lock up the entirety of both teams for a little bit, though, so there is a 2-second pause in that fight.
Yeah, and I'm a little bit surprised that Pony didn't decide to push after that.
Oh, Sona is getting caught out here. Her crescendo is already back up and is going to be able to crescendo flash out of that.
Unfortunately, that is a big problem for Pony. Now that they've got Sona's ultimate down, Lead by Example could really take this opportunity to initiate and make a team fight happen.
Aqua Prison does not land. Tristana putting out a lot of damage with only 3 or 4 auto attacks on that Nami.
So, Lead by Example really needed to make something happen here. With Crescendo down, that's a huge part of the team fight. Rise is still pretty strong. I know that he hasn't gotten a lot of kills, but he's remained somewhat farmed up, and he's tanky enough that he can still do quite a bit of damage in the fight.
Alright, we have a pause coming in. I don't know what the issue is. We'll figure that out shortly. Looking at the team makeup, both Sona and York have yet to die. York now has the Frozen Fist. He's just putting out all sorts of random auto attack effects all over everyone. His ghost does, if he ults himself, does get the benefit of all of his on-hit auto effects. So you could have twice as much damage coming out from that York from the Frozen Fist, the Muramana, and the Lizard Elder buff. Right.
So I'm looking to see some fights happening closer to Baron now that we have so many towers down, so much good roaming potential, and Holy Grail has a lot of ward coverage potential. If they look to Baron, they could force a fight, and as long as Pony has Crescendo up and some of the other vital ultimates, I'm pretty confident that they would win. They could bait the Baron. They probably don't want to actually do it because they aren't tanky enough and they're going to get lowered down. But as long as they're able to reinitiate into that fight instead of finish off that Baron, then it will be an okay deal.
Yep, and we do see Baron being started. Pony is unaware of that well-placed ward in the Baron. Hecarim ults in, but York is going to secure that. Hecarim is now way out of position. He's going to try and devastating charge out of here. Kazak's going to jump in front of him, land the Void Spike slow, and the kill.
Man, and that was just such a quick opportunity for Pony to take out Baron, and they knew right when that happened that they needed to turn around and initiate. So Hackerim probably was a little bit too far ahead of his team when he went in. Might have been a reason why things went south. I think that they could have done something.
Alright, Kazak's going in, Crescendo coming across, Kazak's just kind of picking up the kill on the rise. It's a 5v3, Kazak's continuing to go in, Tidal Wave does land. He flashes out to de-aggro himself from the tower. Sona taking a lot of tower hate, Aqua Prison does not land. Piercing Arrow also does not land. The inhib does drop again. Hekrim will be up in 5 seconds, and it looks like Pony is going to go ahead and back out and secure this mid lane tower.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
So this is a really good push, obviously, coming off from Pony. And lead by example is thrown it a little bit just by losing members one by one. Even this turret having this fight go 5v3 is a little bit dangerous. I know they don't want to lose that turret, but they really need to just play it safe.
Rise still down for another 15 seconds. Pony is free to do what they please. It looks like they're going to resecure that blue buff of their own. Base, buy, and then look to push another lane now that top is down again.
So, if we take a look at some of the things that Nocturne is invested in, as opposed to when Lead by Example played Nocturne and they went straight damage, Nocturne is actually building supporty and kind of tanky here. He has Randuin's, he has Locket, and Merc Treads even, which is helping to combat against that really well-formed Varus. It's going to keep them in team fights, and the double Locket is really protecting them from some of the kill potential of Rise's AoE. So really great buys there, and again, you see the same trend of Lead by Example, unfortunately not picking up aura items, picking up Sunfire Capes, Thorn Mails, and Warmogs, instead of picking up some of the really valuable aura items. For example, they probably don't need Board.
Oh, we have Kazak catching out the Hekrim. He Void Spikes and jumps in. Hekrim is going devastating charge away. Sonic gets an auto attack off with the slow. Void Spikes comes out. Hekrim is forced to ult out. And that's going to be very bad for Lead by Example, being an ulted down. A Hekrim ult nonetheless, which is a really huge AoE CC.
Yes, and I feel like Lead by Example really needed to pick up some better items by now.
Yep, Hekrim is back in
not
with the home guard. He's going to be forced back out, already dropped to half health again, and he was only just knocked out of the fight a few seconds ago.
Yeah, and unfortunately Hekrim had to blow his ult. Had he not been caught out like that, they could have potentially initiated on that last fight positively.
Sana does pick up that mid lane tower, and York will look to pick up this bottom lane tower himself, only having to deal with the Hekrim. The tower is pretty low already.
Lead by Example is not really in a position to fight this 4v4, and meanwhile they are losing an inhibitor bottom, so they need to do something fast to prevent Pony from just pushing down their objectives. Probably need to force a 5v fight instead of a 4v4, because they don't really have anybody to send who can stop your problem.
Yep. And that second inhibitor does go down. Aqua Prison does land on a couple of members.
The third inhibitor for this.
That is double super minions in every lane now.
And this is the infamous 3 inhibitor situation. Extremely difficult to come back, but it's always possible by Lead by Example. They are heavily down in gold, and unfortunately I think that they don't have quite the aura defensive items that they're going to need to win those team fights, but if they're able to turn something around at double turrets, they would be able to push through at least a couple turrets, maybe an inhibitor of Ponies.
Yep. And Dragon does get picked up again by Pony, preventing any chance of a quick gold comeback. Kha'Zix gets another Void Spikes off on the Hekrim, but is content with just leaving here. Hekrim may look to catch this Kha'Zix out. He does get the ult off. Sonic is able to jump over the wall and evaporate the Hekrim. Piercing Arrow comes out from Varus. It's not going to do too much. His ultimate was burned, holding them in place.
So Thor actually had a pretty good initiate there. His team wasn't ready to follow up, so it was a bit of a miscommunication, but that's the kind of really aggressive pressure that they're going to need to apply to win those team fights. They're going to have to catch someone, they're going to have to see it, and they're going to have to go in instantly.
Yorick has caught this Varus. Barrier and Flash were burned, but Yorick's slow is too strong.
Wow, and yes, that is quite a bit of damage coming off from Yorick. I know he kind of went the split tanky, split DPS route, but it's really given him the opportunity to contend with even Cho'Gath here.
Yep, Cho'Gath is going to flash Deathbringer, get caught by it anyway. Fear comes out. Yorick is going to continue to put the hurt on this Cho'Gath. Rupture does land, so does Aqua Prison. They're going to go ahead and back away from this. Cho'Gath is a little too tanky to bring down. And they're going to re-secure the triple inhib, continuing the double super minion pressure from every lane.
And unfortunately, I just don't think there's enough damage on me by example.
No, there really is not. Tidal Wave comes across it. I don't believe it hit anyone. Paranoid comes down. Fear is going off. Nocturne is forced to back away, but Tristana does kill the tower. Yorick is brought really low, is dropped thanks to that tower shot. Hecarim does ult in, managing to pick up the kill on the Kha'Zix. And it looks like there's a chance for a turnaround here. Ryze picks up a double kill. Nocturne is super low here. He does put up a spell shield and will get out of here. But the base is in absolute ruins.
Minions are too much. The minions are just too much. It is the infamous 3 inhibitor clone, and although they were able to kind of fend off that attack, the problem is that by fighting, they almost sealed the deal. By allowing those minions to move in and fighting the enemy, they just gave the minions time to break down their turrets and work on their nexus. So it's almost a lose-lose situation. You can work on the minions and you're going to die to the team fight, or you can go ahead and team fight and you're going to lose to the minions. I don't know that that was exactly the right choice to go for the team fight and to wait for the minions, but it is going to keep them in the game for now. The problem being Baron has just popped, and this is going to be an excellent opportunity for Pony. Lead by Example is not in a position in any way whatsoever to even think about pursuing Baron.
Yeah.
With 3 inhibitors down, Hecarim is throwing the game at the moment because his team needs to fight off those minions, and it's going to take all 5 members to do so.
Yeah, if Team Lead by Example does try and contest this Baron, the base will go down to the super minions.
Correct. It is GG if that does happen. They are staying in their base, they're aware of what's going on, but they're just going to hang tight and wait for the worst of it. They do have to get ready for the next team fight. The only thing they can do is buy home guard, buy ore items. I see that I picked up a locket. They did pick up a bulwark, which is a big misplay. Bulwark is okay for defense, but it's really for magic defense, and there is no magic damage on My Little Pony. So instead of that, he could have picked up, for example, a Randuin's or a Frozen Heart, a Randuin's, and it really could have helped a lot. That actually might be a huge contributing factor to this next endgame team fight.
Crescendo comes out across the team. Tristana is getting the out attacks off. Tidal Wave comes down. Kha'Zix gives Aqua Prison. He manages to jump out. Yorick picks up the kill on the Rise. Tristana jumps into the fight. He's just going to auto attack like mad on everything. And that's going to be a game as the super minions take out the Nexus.
Very well played by Lead by Example and My Little Pony, but a close team fight, a close game will end in a victory for My Little Pony, who shall advance on in the winner's bracket.
Well, I seem to have ran into a connection issue. Alright, I'm going to stop the stream for now. My Little Pony advances. Lead by Example will be dropped to the lower bracket. And thank you for watching. The next game will be up shortly.
Alright, in about 10 minutes, we are going to reconvene with the next match.